Hello, everyone, dear viewers of the channel. I am Helena, the Guardian of Secrets, a researcher of mystical phenomena, and here with me is Vadim, a historian interested in folk culture.
Good evening, everyone, and a warm welcome to another dive into the depths of folklore, where Helena finds the magic and I try to find the logic.
Today, Vadim, I want to explore something truly fascinating, how the universal human experience of fear and the unknown manifests in horror stories across different cultures. We often talk about our Ukrainian Mavka and Rusalki, but what about their distant cousins in other lands? Do the same archetypes appear?
An excellent point, Helena. It's a natural curiosity to compare and contrast. While the specific manifestations differ, the underlying human anxieties, fears of nature, death, or social transgressions, often produce remarkably similar narrative structures. It speaks to a collective human unconscious, perhaps, or simply shared environmental pressures.
Exactly. Let's take our beloved yet terrifying Mavka. This beautiful, often naked or barely clothed forest spirit, the soul of a young woman who died an untimely, often violent death, especially if unbaptized. She lures men deep into the woods with her captivating beauty, sometimes to tickle them to death, sometimes to simply vanish them. Her beauty masks a profound sadness and a dangerous primal energy tied to nature itself.
And from a historical anthropological perspective, the Mavka serves multiple functions. She's a cautionary tale against straying into dangerous parts of the forest, particularly for young men. She also embodies the grief for the unbaptized dead, a significant concern in a deeply religious society. The tickling to death could be a metaphor for hypothermia or getting lost.
But isn't there something more? The sheer tragedy of her existence, trapped between worlds, seeking a warmth she can never truly possess. It's this emotional resonance that makes her so potent. And when I look beyond Ukraine, I see echoes of her. Consider La Llorona, the weeping woman from Latin American folklore, particularly strong in Mexico. Like our Mavka, she's a female spirit, often associated with water, rivers, lakes, canals, and deeply tragic.
Ah, La Llorona, a classic example of a cross-cultural parallel. Her legend typically involves a woman, often named Maria, who drowned her children, or they drowned while she was distracted. And she's condemned to wander the earth, weeping and searching for them, often luring other children to their watery grave, or simply instilling fear.
The parallels are striking. Both are women bound to water, forever grieving, yet becoming dangerous entities. But the Mavka feels more connected to the raw, untamed force of nature, a manifestation of the forest's ancient, sometimes indifferent power. Whereas La Llorona feels more rooted in human societal tragedy, remorse, and maternal despair.
Precisely. While both are liminal figures, existing between life and death, their origins diverge. Mavka often stems from an unfulfilled life, or a violent death linked to nature itself, an embodiment of the wild. La Llorona, on the other hand, is a more explicit morality tale. It reflects anxieties about maternal responsibility, the consequences of social transgression, or even the historical trauma of conquest and cultural loss, where children, metaphorically or literally, disappear into a new, overwhelming world. The shared element is the eternal lament.
Yes, the lament and the ability to elicit profound dread. Imagine hearing that mournful wail on a moonlit night, knowing it could be the ghostly cries of a mother searching for her children, or the seductive song of a spirit longing for human warmth to ease her cold eternity. The goosebumps are real, Vadim, aren't they?
They are, Helena. And it's that very human response to the unknown, the fear of what we cannot explain, that these stories tap into. They give form to our anxieties. From a psychological standpoint, these figures allow us to externalize our fears of regret, loss, and the untamed wilderness. They are culturally encoded coping mechanisms.
But they also contain ancient wisdom, the respect for water, the forest, the sanctity of life, especially that of children. These stories teach us even as they terrify us. Think about the concept of a house spirit. We have our domovik, usually benevolent, a guardian of the hearth, though he can be mischievous if displeased.
A protective spirit, a manifestation of the home's history and stability.
Exactly. Now compare that to Japan's Zashiki Warashi, often a childlike spirit, sometimes invisible, sometimes appearing as a small child. They bring good fortune and prosperity to a household, much like a domovik, but if they leave, the house falls into ruin. They are not malevolent, but their presence is crucial.
An interesting parallel. Both highlight the spiritual sanctity of the home. The domovik is a more ancient, almost pagan carryover, representing the continuity of ancestral presence. The Zashiki Warashi seems to focus more on an active, albeit subtle, conferral of prosperity. The departure of both, however, signifies disaster for the inhabitants. It's the personification of the health of the household.
And that connection between the spiritual and the material well-being, that's where the magic lies. It reminds us that our environment, our home, isn't just wood and stone. It has a living energy. If you're listening and have a local legend about a benevolent or malevolent house spirit from your own culture, please share it in the comments below. We'd love to hear your insights.
Indeed. What these comparisons show is that while the supernatural entities might wear different masks, the underlying human concerns, safety, prosperity, the explanation of misfortune, the sanctity of life and home, remain universal. We create these stories to make sense of a chaotic world. They are cultural safety valves and historical records of our collective fears and hopes.
And in understanding these parallels, we don't just learn about other cultures, we deepen our understanding of our own. We see that the threads of mystical belief, of magic, of fear and wonder are woven into the very fabric of humanity. Losing this knowledge, these stories, means losing a part of ourselves.
Perhaps, or rather, in examining them critically, we gain a richer, more nuanced appreciation for the human experience that birthed them. They are a testament to our enduring creativity and our quest for meaning.
A quest that continues today.
And will continue as long as there are stories to be told.
Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss our next dive into the mystical and historical.
Thank you for joining us on this fascinating journey through folklore, both Ukrainian and global. Until next time, keep your senses open and your heart connected to the ancient tales.